Let's begin by taking a look at how we can use MoGraph in Cinema 4D to start to create some text elements in our scene. So again, the MoGraph tools that we're going to be using are available if you have Cinema 4D Broadcast or Cinema 4D Studio. So if you have Prime or Visualize, this won't apply to you, so you can go ahead and skip to some of the other sections. So for us, let's go ahead and start to create some elements here. So for the idea that I want to have for this broadcast kind of graphical piece that we're going to be creating over the course of the next few lessons is it's going to be incorporating a lot of different letters and numbers. And so let's create some text. We'll go to MoGraph, the menu, and we'll go down to MoText. You can see a number of the other different tools that we're going to be using over the course of the next few lessons, but let's go ahead and drop in some MoText. Okay, you can see by default, see the word text show up and it's in 3D in our view. Okay, if you see it here, you can see it's MoText. To see the actual text and see some of the other attributes that we can change, we'll go down to our Attributes Manager, and you can see under Object, we have the depth of the text, the subdivisions, as well as the actual text itself. Okay, so let's take a look before we change the actual text at some of the things that we can change. So we can change the font of the text. So whatever fonts that you happen to have, you can go ahead and use those. Okay, we can also come under here, maybe make it bold. So any of those options that you're used to in your Illustrator or Photoshop as far as working with text, Word. We can also change the alignment from left to middle to right. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and set that to middle. We can also change the height of the text, so make it larger or smaller. Change the horizontal spacing and the vertical spacing if we have more than one row. Okay, now for the actual text itself, let's go ahead and I want to create basically one letter each. So I'm going to go ahead and type each letter. M-N-O-P Q R S W X Y and Z. And then I also want to go ahead and add the numbers too. So I'm going to go ahead and add 1 through 9. And you can add 0 if you want, but I'm just going to go ahead and add that as my text. Okay, so now you can see all of that text added in here. Now if we take a look at the edges are really, really sharp. So what I want to do is go to caps. Now caps, just as we would if we're working with some kind of extrude NURBS or other generator, we can change the way that this edge looks. So for the start and end cap, I'm going to change those both to a fillet cap. Okay, and you can change this depending on how you want it to look, but I want to tighten up the edge here for mine. So I'm going to go ahead and reduce the radius on both of these, and let's take it down to maybe 1. Okay, and I'm also going to change the number of steps, and let's increase that to maybe 2. Now we're going to have a lot of letters, so I don't want to add too many divisions in here, but I do want to have kind of a soft edge for my letters. Okay, now I want to be able to, or I'm going to be able to separate these letters out. I want to be able to separate them out, and so I actually want to bring them all into the center here. And so I'm going to go into Object, and I'm going to change this horizontal spacing down until they're kind of all sort of in the middle. They don't have to be exactly in the center, but kind of bring them on here because I want to separate them out. Okay. Now you can decide on the thickness also. So change the depth if you want them to be a bit thicker. I'm going to set mine to maybe 12 or so. And I'm going to make that maybe 15, make them a little thicker. Okay, so once this is done, I'm going to go ahead and actually convert these down. Okay, so right now they're being generated. We can go in and change the attributes of their object and cap. You can see that we can also add effectors to this, and that won't mean much to you right now, but as we go through this process, we'll learn more about effectors and how you can add those in, but this is how they would affect a line per word or per letter. Okay, so let's go ahead and take this MoText that we've created, and I'm going to say current state to object. Okay, that's going to create this null, and if I open up the null, you can see there's another null, and inside you can see all of our text has been converted into polygons. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the visibility of our text here. So if I can select all of these and just drop them outside of this null, okay, then we have single letters. So if I were to grab this A and I could go ahead and move it off, you can see that it's all by itself now, which is what I want. Okay, we still have the mo text. If you want to keep that, then you could keep it in here, maybe put it in a null that's, you know, called raw or something like that. But the key is that we now have our elements that we're going to be copying across different surfaces and creating different configurations using all of these letters. Okay, you don't have to use all of the letters if you want to just use a few, but I want to have a lot of different variations in there. And so I'm just going to type that out. If you want to use text in a different way, type a sentence out, that's up to you. Okay, so now that we've used motext to create some text, okay, some letters in here, the next thing that we want to do is go ahead and use something called a cloner to create some background letters. So taking just these 26 letters plus the numbers and duplicating them and moving them in different ways very, very quickly and in a very flexible way. So let's go ahead in the next lesson and take a look at how we can start to use cloners in our workflow here in Cinema 4D.